The first thing to note is that Iduapriem is an extraordinary ore body, but even more than that, has an extraordinary team operating it. The first thing for us to do after 2.5 years of relative uncertainty while the joint venture had been pending is really just to engage with the workforce, make some recruitments in key positions and make sure that everybody is fully motivated and excited about the future of this very important asset, not only for us, but for Ghana, for the local community. The second is that we have, our mine planners have been working on optimizing Iduapriem's plan all the way through this joint venture process. And I think, as we've said before in the market, is that we're very excited about the potential that we see in this mine plan. That's in an absolute basis and relative to what the joint venture would have produced. So we're excited about fleshing that out a little bit more and really then communicating that more widely outside of the company. The third is that we have a program in AngloGold Ashanti called Full Asset Potential. This is something that we've used to very good effect across our asset base over the last 2.5 or 3 years. It's unlocked enormous value. It's a business optimization process that really looks at the 4 or 5 key levers at each site, sees what we can do, not only to optimize production, but really to make sure that any asset is operating as efficiently as it can. That's a team of specialists that will be working very closely with the management team at Iduapriem to make sure that we can get full value from that asset going forward. It's a very exciting operation for us. So that really, those are the big 3 things we're looking at. So we have 2 operations in Ghana, 2 very important, very established operations. We have the Iduapriem mine in the western region, which is our ultimately one of the mainstays of our Africa portfolio in AngloGold Ashanti. And I've spoken about how we'll be working very hard to optimize that asset and make sure that it's really running like a Swiss watch, and that's the first port of call. The second is probably the most famous asset in Ghana, the most famous mining asset, called Obuasi. That's in the Ashanti region. This is a mine that we shut down in about a decade ago, and we've been working to recapitalize that mine. We've invested plus or minus $1 billion in that project, and that's really to modernize this operation and to make it the flag bearer for Ghana's gold mining industry. Where we are right now, and that is we are ramping up to full production. Full production, we see it around 400,000 ounces a year, and we see that in roughly 2028. Where we are right now is finishing some major infrastructure projects on that mine, including vertical shafts, a KMS shaft, which is a big way to move men and materials in and out of the operation, and to complete the large decline from surface that gets into the mining areas. So with all of that infrastructure built, the focus there is on optimizing the operation. The focus is on making sure that we can leverage that infrastructure as effectively as possible. And the man leading that operation is my colleague Sam Poby, who comes with a very strong pedigree, and he'll be working with the team on the ground to make sure that we realize all the milestones between production this year and where we aim to be by around 2028 and beyond. So the first thing to recognize is that AngloGold Ashanti is the largest gold mining company in Africa. We have mines in Guinea, we have mines in Ghana, as we've spoken about. We have mines in Egypt, Tanzania, and then a joint venture which we don't operate in the Democratic Republic of Congo called Kibali. So with that footprint in Africa, we're really happy to be established, to have operations that have enormous potential, both from a geological point of view, but also from an efficiency point of view. So our operations, or our focus at the moment, pardon me, is really to look at each of those operations, to look at the total geological endowment, to work with our team of very accomplished geologists and mine planners to make sure that we're really getting the maximum benefit out of those operations, both from a production point of view, from an efficiency point of view, and that really is where our focus is at the moment. Obviously, where the gold price is, it's easy to get carried away, but as a company, we're committed to being efficient, to making sure we're prudent, and that we have mines that would be profitable even at a gold price that is lower than where it is at the moment. So really, we have a lot on our plate from our existing portfolio, and that is where our current focus is. So Ghana is Africa's largest gold producer, and it really is a cornerstone in our portfolio. AngloGold Ashanti came about in 2004 from the combination of South Africa's most storied gold company, AngloGold, and Ashanti Goldfields, which I think the name makes clear is the most iconic Ghanaian gold company. So since 2024, we've been working to establish ourselves to grow production and to become Africa's foremost gold producer. The conference is really important for us because these discussions that we'll be having both today and tomorrow here in Accra are fundamental not only for Ghana's gold industry, but really for West Africa's gold industry. We think it's important that these discussions are happening here on the subcontinent. It's important that stakeholders from West Africa and in fact beyond are involved in these discussions. And we're very proud to be a sponsor of this and to be having these discussions here, where the mining is happening, where we face a lot of the challenges and where all the potential lies. That said, as we've heard at the conference from excellent presentations made by the Minister, the Honourable Emmanuel Amakofibua, the ASM or small-scale gold mining industry really needs to be regulated in order that the biggest excesses that unregulated small-scale mining brings both to people, to the environment, can really be curbed and that more benefit can accrue to the state as a whole. We are supportive of those efforts that the government has undertaken, and as AngloGold Ashanti, we would like to be in the conversation as government looks to the future of this important industry.